wounded.
Vietnam was hell.
We had never been thanked for our service. Never. Congressman Ron Paul got my medals for me and presented them to me. That was an awesome feeling.
People break down and cry because they're getting the medals that they finally deserved.
It takes a veteran to understand a veteran, and he is a veteran himself.
Ron Paul is a veteran's best friend.
He said, "Thank you for your service," and shook our hand and gave us a hug. That will always be there.
I'm Ron Paul, and I approve this message.
You are now listening to the Ron Paul Radio Network. Radio for the revolution.
Sounds like Vegas.
What's going on, y'all? You're back. I'm your host, Paco, and you're listening to Occupy the Media. All right, so let's see here. I think I had some clips here that I'm going to be playing next hour. Also, just a reminder that I will be in the next hour, so make sure you check me out. We got that new ad coming out that I'm going to play next hour. Some other headlines and see if we can get any new Ron Paul news up to the hour. And let's see, we got some headlines. Also, I'm checking out the TV for you guys. You know we're occupying the media here on this show. I got the TV in front of me, always keeping a look of what's going on here, talking about Border Patrol agents right now, CNN. Okay, so we got this headline. Clinton protesters gather outside Hendricks Chapel. So Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's visit to Syracuse University brought out some protesters. A handful of people from the SU chapter of Answer gathered outside Hendricks Chapel with signs in hand to protest Clinton's visit. Part of their message was for the U.S. to stay out of Iran and Syria, which I totally agree. We need to stay out of there, stay out of Afghanistan, out of Pakistan, and Clinton needs to stay out of office, any public office, you know. So I try to tell people when they voted for Obama and thought Hillary might be the vice president or and she would have some type of role in his administration, and she ended up very well having a role. And look, man, now Obama and Hillary are going to start looking like George Bush, man. As the years come, more and more people are going to be protesting them. More and more people are going to be waking up. But hopefully it won't come to that because Ron Paul will be president before we even get there. I mean, people are waking up now, but, you know, when I see Obama still drawing crowds, you know, Hillary Clinton is still somewhat popular. It's a sad state, man. It isn't right. It isn't good because these people need to be looked at as criminals. That's what they are. You know, people tell me all the time, why you talk bad about politicians? I remember at my job, why you talk bad about Obama, bad about Clinton and all that? You know, even if you don't agree. People think it's just an agreement and disagreement type of thing where, oh, that person's cool, I just don't necessarily agree with them. No, it's not that. It's bigger than that, okay? It's like you and me can disagree on something. There's a lot of people out there that I disagree with on certain issues or certain things or whatever the case may be, you know? But this is different. It's not an old agreement and disagreement when it comes to war, when it comes to killing people, when it comes to spying on us, when it comes to taking away our health freedoms, comes to taking away all of our freedoms, when it comes to the drug war. These are things that politicians do that it isn't anything that we just disagree on. It's something foul that they're doing. It's something criminal that they're doing. They're taking away our rights. They're taking away our freedom. So excuse me, you know, if I don't have any respect for any of these politicians. And Ron Paul is a very, very good dude, a lot better than me because I couldn't hold a conversation with some of these people that he talks to. There's nothing to talk about as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, man, turn around, get the police, handcuff these people, and put them in jail. But, you know, where I used to work, people used to somewhat seem like they were offended by the way I talk. I guess sometimes I was a little rowdy, a little excited. And, you know, people couldn't just understand that, you know, because people just don't necessarily like a politician. They don't necessarily hate them or think they're a bad person. And I tell people, stop looking at Obama like a person. Stop looking at him like he's your uncle or your dad or your friend or your neighbor or just one of your homies because he's not none of them. He don't care about you. He's a criminal, you know. You know, take all these people that you see on America's Most Wanted or the screenshots of all these people's faces you see on the news that do bad things, these criminals. How do you look at them? You look at them like criminals, don't you? You don't look at them as in a sense, regular people. You look at them as disturbed people that need to be put away, people that need to be put in jail, not someone you can see yourself having a conversation with or shaking their hands, you know? And that's how you need to look at these politicians. You know, stop looking at them like they're regular people. They don't care about you. And I'm glad to see that people are out protesting Hillary Clinton. We need to be protesting Bill Clinton. And just real quick story, one time Bill Clinton came to Virginia, and I lived out there for quite some time. Grew up out there. Anyways, he came to a middle school. I think it was a middle school right down the street from my house. And I found out about it the night before. You know, they didn't really. This is back when Obama and Hillary is running against each other, and Bill Clinton is going around, campaigning for his wife. And so I didn't find out about the event till like midnight the night before. You know, so they weren't even really promoting it. I guess they didn't really want a bunch of people there unless you were part of the campaign or, you know, on an email list or something. So, anyways, I found out about it. I called up a couple of my friends, the activist friends, 2 of them I had at that time, and they were like, let's go. So we got up early the next morning. We went. Yeah, man, and Bill Clinton was there, and when he was speaking, I was just holding up a sign, and when the speech was over, I was outside, you know, pretty much protesting, telling people about the Federal Reserve and about Ron Paul and how Bill Clinton is no different and they're all the same. And, you know, I remember saying, Hillary's Bush with a wig. Hillary's Bush with a wig on. I kept saying that out there, and I was looking like a crazy nut because I was by myself. My friends were part of the press trying to get closer to him. Well, long story short, Bill Clinton comes in the yard, to the little football field or whatever. I didn't know this at the time, but supposedly they were having a little gathering for a police officer that had been gunned down or killed, and I guess he was going to come pay his respects, have a moment of silence or whatever on the baseball field. And it was a bunch of people that were out there, people that came to hear him speak. Well, you know, I won't have none of that. I was just getting started in my activism, and I was hyped, so I started screaming on Bill Clinton. You know, I started screaming on him. Tell him about the Federal Reserve. You lying. You know, I even brought up the issue about back when he was in Arkansas and a little kid got killed, and they tried to say that it was that he fell asleep because he got high off weed and fell asleep on the train tracks and got killed by a train. Turned out that he ran up on a government drug operation, and Bill Clinton helped cover it all up. So check that out if you get a chance. I think you can look it on YouTube, Clinton Chronicles, I think they call it. But yeah, man, so I screamed on him, and people were getting upset with me because, you know, people were brainwashed. Even more people like the Clintons back then. And so I was looking crazy by myself and calling him out. And Secret Service, basically, so many people around him, but I know everybody can hear me because I'm loud as mess. A few moments later, he ends up walking to the other side of the field, and he actually he's actually a little bit by himself. I can actually reach him if I want. You know, I could have touched him if I wanted to. But anyways, I went up to him real close, and I started asking all the questions. What about the Federal Reserve? Why aren't you telling people about the IRS in 1913 and how we don't have to pay this and all that? Man, they saw me screaming there. They looked at him, and they ran him out of there. And Bill Clinton left real quick. And I know part of it had to do with me. I know they wanted him to stay there a little longer, get a little bit, you know, photos and look nice with everyone. But I ran him out of there, man. We don't want you in our town. And that was back when Democrats were popular, but people were on Obama at the time. Not too many people I knew were going to go ahead and go for Hillary. But that's only because Obama was running. They wanted a black man to be president. But let's see here. Got some more headlines coming up the next hour. Also got another ad coming out someone made showing Obama and Mitt Romney. Really no different. They're both the same. And also check me out at 3 p.m. Eastern Time later on if you can. And again, I always post my episodes, or as many of them as I can, or the important ones, on my Facebook page, Paco Elijah, and I put them on YouTube. And also hit me up on Twitter, Occupy the MSM. And if you're able to, you donate to the campaign already, you have a little extra funds, please donate to RonPaulRadio.com if you get the chance. We definitely could use your help. And also letting everybody know that we're trying to get interviews back on my show as soon as possible, exclusive interviews. We've just been having a little phone issues and issues with the call-in line So we're still working on that. It might just be an issue that I'm having, so I'm trying to